In the last episode, we spent quite a bit of time framing out my aluminum 12-foot John boat. We got the front deck done and the back deck done. From there, we took a 4x8 piece of siding and cut it to fit the deck. After that, I traced all the compartments that I wanted onto the PVC siding, cut it out with a jigsaw, and wha-bam, we had ourselves a fully decked out John boat. Now from here, we got to get this boat completely finished so that it is water ready, because I'm trying to get this thing out fishing. So let's get started. Really quickly, I want to let you guys know that today's video is brought to you by Power Queen Life P.2 lithium batteries. I want to give a huge shout out to Power Queen for sending me two 12-volt 100 amp hour batteries for my boat build. I'm going to be using these batteries for the trolling motor and all the accessories inside the boat. Now, you guys haven't seen it yet, but the boat's done and it's looking amazing, and it is powered by these batteries right here. These batteries are super light. I can literally use them as dumbbells. They weigh approximately 24 pounds. These two batteries together are still almost as light as a typical deep cycle battery. So if you guys are looking for a good, light, affordable option for a battery, check the link in my description below. Thank you, Power Queen, for giving me some batteries for the boat build. And let's get back to building that boat. Last night, my girlfriend and I spent about an hour getting the whole inside of the boat primed because we're gonna be painting it. Today, we have to get the sea deck installed. I went with a $30 sea deck that I got on Amazon. You guys really loved the video where I did the $60 sea deck on the Bass Cat, so I figured we'd get even cheaper stuff to see if we could really budget this build, and I would just test out the quality for you guys. So I bought 2 rolls of that for literally 60 bucks. That's the cheapest I've ever seen it, I've ever found it. The boat will be ready to hit the water by the end of today's video. So I tried to get a time lapse of us installing the EVA foam for you guys, but unfortunately the GoPro crashed, and this is about all it recorded. But you guys will see it all installed in a second here. The back deck, it's on. It looks good. This stuff is $30 a sheet, so I don't have high expectation for it. But when it comes to doing the lines, it gives you astronomical headache. The adhesive is pretty good. It's pretty funny. There's a 3M sticker on there. I don't even know if this is actually 3M, but it sticks, you know? It sticks. It's looking solid. I'm happy with the turnout. All right, now we got to figure out the front deck. All right, folks, the sea deck is finished and it's on. I apologize. Last night we had the GoPro rolling. I tried to have a time lapse for you guys, but something happened. SD card crashed, battery died. I don't really know. So unfortunately, I don't have the full footage of me putting that stuff on. But here it is. It looks great. As you guys know, I spent about $30 a sheet on this stuff, and it's definitely been the cheapest EVA foam that I've ever gone with. It's not perfect, but it does work. So the EVA foam's on. It looks very, very good. I also painted the inside of the boat yesterday. I just used a roller and some Rust-Oleum paint. I still need to put a second coat on, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. I'm starting to get the look that I was looking to achieve. But now we have to do the hardest part, that being installing the vinyl wrap. I have zero experience with this stuff. I've never done this before, but it doesn't seem that hard. I'm probably gonna do it wrong, and people in the comments are probably gonna tell me that I did it wrong, but whatever. My money, my mistakes. So let's get to installing the wrap. Wow. That was a big leap for me. Honestly, just buying 25 foot of vinyl wrap on Amazon and going full send in my garage was a shot in the dark. I'll be honest with you guys. I knew I could do it. I felt so confident and I believe in myself. I believe so long as you put your mind to it, you can really accomplish anything. But I learned a lot along the way. But guys, there's not even a stinking bubble. I mean, everything down to the rivets that were in here, I got pretty darn good. So if you guys are wondering, this is how much money you could save doing something like this. I literally spent $160 for all the vinyl wrap. I'm talking, I did the whole boat and I still have boatloads of it left. Like I probably still have enough to do probably 1 or 2 more John boats, which is pretty insane when you think about it. For me to go to a professional and get this done, it would probably be a lot better, but it would be like over $1,000, even just for this little John boat. So I went ahead, tackled it myself, and we got it done for less than 160 bucks. I'd say I probably used $50 worth of material. I just spent like 6 hours wrapping this boat, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, so today should be the final day on working on the boat. I'm hoping, at least that's the goal. We have the wrap on, we have the EVA foam, we basically have it painted. These finally came in the mail. So we're going to be getting all of the latches, hatches put together. We're also going to be installing a bilge pump and hopefully a trolling motor. So let's get to it. So I ended up going with just these cheap poles from Amazon. They're just like latch poles. They're not actual latches, but they get the job done. So we got our doors all set in stone. We have a way to actually open them, which is nice. So the front is done, and then I put 2 more on the back. As you guys know, I don't have any doors back here. I just have one big one. So I put 2 on there, so if you need to pull it and slide it out. Those are all good to go. They look really nice. And then the other thing that I did was install the bilge pump. If you guys look over here, this was sketchy. I honestly was super nervous about drilling a hole in the side of the boat, but it came out really, really nice. So we have our exit for our bilge installed. Now, I don't love where it's at. If you guys don't know, my float line on my boat is about here. Ideally, I wanted the exit about up here, like closer to the top. But due to the fact that I framed the back in, this was literally the highest I could go because the boat's at a pitch. So when you stick something in there for it to sit flat, it's not actually sitting flat. The exit sits like this, which, if you look over here, led me to this issue down here. Do you see how much like upwards that hose is facing? So I could only go so high or else the back compartment would have sat on top of it and crushed my bilge hose. So from there, I just drilled some holes in the top of the angle and put zip ties in it so that I could connect the hose underneath it. And then I just put the pump right there. So bilge pump installed, compartments are finished officially. And now we have to put in this little switch for the bilge pump and for whatever I guess I decide to hook up, maybe a little fish finder. Before we get to that, I have to solve a massive issue. Did not think this one through. Down here is my Minn Kota trolling motor. Now some of you guys are probably thinking, Jordan, it's just a trolling motor, what's the big deal? Well, your boy didn't compensate the deck for a trolling motor. For some reason I thought in my head I was just gonna slap a trolling motor on here and all would be fine and dandy, but I didn't. So now I thought I was gonna put it here, but if I put it here, that's not gonna work. So now I have to figure out a way to like engineer a frame that floats above the boat and off enough to get this open, but also mount a trolling motor. Currently 2:08 a.m. Yes, 2 o'clock in the morning. And let me show you guys what I did. So we got the trolling motor figured out. I'm gonna show you guys that here in a minute, but I wanna show you another thing I did. I'm actually psyched about this. Did not plan on it, just realized I had lights laying around. So check this out. We got the whole thing decked out with red lights. Pretty pumped about that. Not sure it was worth staying up till 2 in the morning for, but you gotta grind when you gotta grind. So we got the trolling motor mounted, but let me show you guys that in the daytime. Okay guys, so it's the next day. The boat is no longer on the horses, but I got the trolling motor all mounted really nice. So what I did was I took 4 pieces of 1.5 by 1/8 inch angle and I put them back to back and then put 2 more on top to do like a backwards box out, almost like a T-frame. The reason that I did that instead of boxing the whole thing out was because I needed to be able to access the bolts to get the trolling motor on. So you guys will see this whole area is open as well as the other side. So I riveted everything. I riveted down this whole line, so I put the piece of angle right on top of this round coping for the boat. So we just drilled holes, riveted straight into that, riveted straight into the pieces on the other side. And then if you guys come over to this side, on this side I did the exact same thing where I did like an open frame, but we did hanging angle. So it's floating over the edge, it's just kind of hanging there, but I put supports underneath that are also riveted into the boat to support the weight this way, and then I did a hanging piece of angle that is connected to the back side. So we have one going straight across to bridge this left piece, and then we have a couple underneath to brace the tilt of the whole motor. I hope I explained that right. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys through the way. I freestyled it. I was in here for about 2 hours engineering the best possible way to support this thing, given the fact that it was going to be floating up in the air. And then for the foot pedal, I just screwed it directly into the deck. I didn't want it flopping around. A lot of guys sink these into the deck. I'm contemplating doing it, but I'm left-footed and this is a righty foot pedal. So I didn't want to do that yet because a lot of times I won't even screw the pedal into the deck. I'll just leave it to where I can move it around with me because being left-footed, it's always just super awkward. So we're gonna hold off on that for now. And then I'm gonna show you guys the switch panel that I put in here. I really like this. It was about 20 bucks on Amazon. I cut a hole into the bench seat. You just kind of shaved out all the foam and dropped this guy in there. It's got a cigarette lighter, 2 USB ports, and then 3 switches. Currently, on the first switch, I have the red LED lights, which is awesome. You can just switch them on, switch them off. And then the middle switch is the bilge pump. So I'm sure you guys can probably hear that. And then the last switch is blank. I'm thinking it's going to be for graphs. So let me know what you guys think about this build right here. In the next video, we're taking it out and going fishing, and I'm going to have a full cost breakdown. So if you guys want to know exactly how much this whole boat build cost me, stay tuned for the next video.